Hello and welcome to a Catra commentary. My name is Pat, and I'm joined as always by Lindsay.
Hi, hello there.
And Titus.
What's up? It's Titus.
And we're gonna watch the last 5 episodes of Catra and talk over them and give you a little bit of ideas of what happened behind the scenes and all that jazz. So let's just get right into it. How about that?
Yeah. I was trying to do my best boss impersonation when you introduced me.
It's been so long since we did those voices. I don't know. Just to clarify, Patrick, the voice of Catra herself.
How's it going?
No, you got to do it like Catra, though.
No.
Yes, come on.
Don't force people to listen to that anymore than they want to.
Catra talking over Catra. It's just like too much for people.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it might be a little much.
Create a Catra chain reaction.
I've said before, it takes me a lot to get into that zone.
Yeah,
I gotta get
really.
some catnip. I gotta,
It just took me and
get a
Titus
scratchy
to
paw,
like, come on, Patrick, just get through the line.
This is what it simply just takes this. Why don't you try meow in front of that line?
Just keep saying
add
meow.
another meow to that.
And we just throw a meow in front of the line, and all of a sudden,
it was perfect.
I'd get into Catra zone.
You did. It was the meows.
And if people are wondering why me, a man, chose to do
The
Catra,
man, like
The man.
Wow,
yeah.
that hurts.
the man in the group.
Titus.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, don't kid ourselves here,
Yeah.
right? Like, no, me, a man in the
I am a
group
minotaur, so
had to do. We're supposed to keep that under wraps.
yeah.
Why I'm doing the Catra voice is because I was the only one that could do the tongue roll.
Yeah, it's true. Pretty much.
We can't roll our
That
R's,
whole
no.
thing.
I can a little bit, but like
No.
that's all I can do.
I'm not even
You're
going to
doing
try
the-
because
No,
it's the
No,
worst.
I'm
It's the
doing
worst.
tongue roll.
Okay, well, you
Like
should have been
that.
Catra. But
No,
You
I
were
shouldn't
holding
have.
back on us.
okay, so kitty coupons.
Oh, this one was one of my favorites, just
Yeah?
because I wrote it. No, just kidding.
Lindsay, that's very self-aware. I appreciate that.
No, it's one of my favorites because it's talking about gaming, which is always like can be a funny topic, and also just because Jeff finally knows what he's talking about in this one.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is the only episode where Jeff gets to be a little confident, but it's the one where he gets to do it without the use of drugs. So it's nice in that
that's
way.
true. They were like, man, how am I going to get Jeff to be kind of different in this episode?
Yeah.
Put him on drugs.
I remember. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say people really noticed like our change in tone when we did the voice acting for Meal Plan.
Oh yeah.
They
sure.
commented on it, but I was like, really? I can't tell the difference.
Oh, ouch. That's some of my proudest work. But
No, you're proud of work. I'm not saying you were bad. I was just
No.
saying like we
You can say
pretty
that.
much did it all. We recorded them all at the same time, and
Yeah.
people kept commenting like, "You guys are getting better," and it's like,
okay, well,
okay.
I mean, let's
From
not go too
last
behind the
week?
scenes.
Yeah.
We appreciate people saying
Yeah.
we were getting
Yeah, of
better,
course.
even though.
Yeah, I know.
To
But
us, it
that's
seems like we're like,
Yeah.
we got better, and I
Yeah.
think we
Yeah,
did weirdly.
sure.
But it's weird because the episode list. It's hard to remember what the production pipeline was like. When do we record this?
Yeah, no,
When
that's
did
what I'm
we
trying to
make it?
say. I'm trying to be clear that people aren't aware that like we made this in a batch. Like
Right.
it seems that people were thinking we're making them weekly, but we really just did it all at once and then released it all through week to week throughout last year.
Exactly.
And that's
Yeah.
probably why the comments I thought were so funny. We're just like, you're getting better. And it's like, well, maybe.
Well, I think we were over the time.
Yeah, over the time we were recording
You
it,
know,
yeah.
if you look at the earlier episodes that we made compared to the later ones,
Mm-hmm.
like I can definitely tell that this is a later one just because I felt like I animated this one. I
Yeah.
felt like I had a better handle on how to move the faces and have the Jeff turn and
There's more head movements happening.
exactly.
That
And
kind of stuff that we were kind of afraid to do earlier on.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it does. You know, like the weird thing about this one is that Jeff's on the side of Catra's on the same side of
the
Catra's
desk.
desk than Catra.
oh, it was because we had to have them looking at the computer. Like
Yeah,
the thing that happened with this one was I read the script and I was like, oh man, none of this is going to work unless we make some major changes to some parts. Like it's obvious that he's looking at the same computer screen as her, and they're talking about what's on it and the way that we had it set up. How would that happen? So I had to sort of cheat it and move him into a place, and then I think I actually made that computer screen as well. I don't think that's the default screen.
Yeah, maybe not. Because it
Yeah, because it
wasn't
had to have
facing
stuff
there.
moving on it and stuff. I guess.
No, I think it's just because it's on a different angle than it was before.
Yeah, and you notice it kind of changes angles. There was a lot of extra stuff that had to be made for this, including
God,
this
like
little,
this Skyrim.
Skyrim thing that is completely faked by.
I look at that. That's what you do in Skyrim. You look a little bit to the right,
and then you move there.
your hands, and you move a little bit to the left.
Yep.
And it's all about those blue gloves you got.
It's how Catra does.
Yeah. She's a blue Khajiit, you know? Like,
yeah, I'm just joking.
yeah, I mean, how much time could you really spend making a Skyrim game for this joke? You know?
Exactly.
It's in the grand scheme of us making this whatever 100 minutes of this show that we produced. It's like a couple seconds that it's on the screen, right?
Exactly.
You also gotta think. Does it make the joke better if it looks weird and stupid? That if it does, I think it does.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny. Were you aware that Skyrim VR was going to happen when you made?
Of course.
This?
That was
that's why we went
make
with
the
that joke.
That it would market well.
Exactly. I was like predicting the future, man.
Looking years ahead. You know,
Yeah,
you're like,
it wasn't that we weren't making jokes about a game that was like years old.
Get in on that VR.
We were.
Trending stuff.
Part of the problem.
I can't remember if we were aware of
No,
that.
No, we were
all,
not.
No.
Not at all.
Not at all. No.
It's funny, and now like here we are. Like Catra VR is a thing now.
Oh, you didn't hear about that, guys?
that
Yeah, we got a
consist of?
deal.
There it
Oh
is.
my god.
Oh, the Oculus
This is my
Rift.
favorite. Her wearing an Oculus Rift to me is just so funny.
I also like just subtle details. The fact that the computer's black now and stuff like that. I feel like everything, when people get a nice gaming computer, it's gotta look cool and dark and like
Right,
And
sleek.
sleek.
maybe a little
Yeah.
bit scary, like
Yeah.
a
Like
stealth,
a little bit
like
scary.
a stealth jet or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to like
It's
show
way
how
more
well
angular.
it runs.
I could have gone further with like having sort of neon lights on it
Neon
or
They
whatever.
like
Cool
to have it like
pipes.
kind of crooked every once in a while.
Yeah, the weird angles, but
Yeah, my computer is pretty much, it's like that. It's really sleek looking.
Oh, but there's crazier
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah,
I like the
there's
ones
crazy
where
ones.
there's
yours is still
they're
just
like,
a work computer,
Yeah.
right?
Some people get the plexiglass on the side,
Oh
and then
my
they like
God.
lights lighting up on the
Yeah.
side
Yeah,
of it.
I mean, again, though, you know,
fancy.
No,
didn't have
we're not gonna
time
do
to
that.
like do
No.
that.
I think it's kind of weird and interesting.
Yeah,
It's so funny when looking at the backgrounds now. Just everything is
yeah.
so like. What's weird is going back to that idea of like, you know, we made this in batches and we made this a while ago. We finished production on this in November or no,
It
in
was September,
at
yeah.
the end of October, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I remember that we spent the summer
Just
deep into animating this one.
so much
Oh,
work.
the little business, the little. It was little details like that.
Yeah, it really
I felt like that was my added touch to this. Sometimes was to make the sort of cheap Photoshop stuff.
But looking at the backgrounds for me, I'm just like, oh no, I didn't like some of them. I don't want to pick it apart on the commentary or anything, but it's just I
Isn't
made
that what we're
I
here
made
to do?
some
Yeah,
Like-
that's what people do in their commentaries.
Yeah.
I
They
made
usually
some
pick apart
decisions
themselves.
that I wouldn't make now.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Oh, for sure.
inline
Well-
consistency and stuff like that.
Just to talk about that, one thing that always bothered me, it says don't catch fire, and safety things are always do not. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
true.
Yeah,
Do
but I think
not
that's
catch
also
fire.
part of the joke.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so like
So it's
casual
bullshit,
and laissez-faire
yeah.
about the whole thing. Just
Yeah.
don't catch fire. That's the idea.
I always loved the phone when you were animating and
so much
and
faster.
you got to the phone.
Yeah.
You always knew this was a little bit of a respite from just the
Yeah.
grinding
Yeah.
Of them
animation
lip-syncing.
and lip syncing.
Oh my god.
I think it ultimately saved us, if you think about it,
Yes,
because
Oh,
it
yeah.
did. We wouldn't be able to do this if we didn't have a phone.
Yeah,
going into it, that was like one of those things where like, and that's a great thing that we can use to make sure that we don't have to animate for that section.
Yeah.
And we're like, great, but then we also didn't realize how long the episodes were going to be until they were edited.
Yeah.
And like
when you mean edited, you mean actually editing the recorded audio, too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, exactly.
we were looking at the scripts and thinking that we had a show that was, I don't know,
5 to
between
6
5
minutes?
to 7 minutes, I think is
Yeah,
what we said.
no.
And
But
only one of those episodes
only
landed
one
at
was
7 minutes.
and that, one of the shortest episode was 7 minutes.
Yeah.
The longest one was over 11. So
it was
Yeah.
12 minutes.
12 minutes, pretty much.
okay, 12 minutes.
It
Yeah.
was so long.
Yeah.
And
We
that's-
were dying.
Way longer than we had planned.
Yeah, that one was, I think it was the Goliath business opportunity.
Yeah,
That
Catra's
one was
business
12
opportunity.
minutes.
That's in this
Yeah.
this heat,
Okay,
whatever you want
yeah.
to call
I
it.
think
Alright,
this
nice.
is this one. Oh no, or is this meal plan? I
We
don't
won't guess.
remember.
We'll see when it
Yeah.
comes up. But
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. It's a little game.
it's a
Guess
little
which
game.
one's next.
Guess which one's next.
Sure,
Pretty good
sure
ones.
the audience
Episode
loves that
7
too.
Yeah,
was
I'm
meal.
sure,
It was
yeah.
meal
The
plan.
people that tuned into this,
They love hearing about how we thought their comments were weird. And what we meant by that
Yeah,
is
it's
just
meal
that it's a real different experience being on a YouTube platform, but being animators that have done things in batches, and you get really removed from it. I think to say that, like, when we're coming to the tail end of Catra, or it's already gone. You know, the last episode's come out.
Yeah.
But it's been months. Like, the last episode came out weeks ago, but it's
Yeah.
been months
Months,
since
yeah.
we were
Like,
working on
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and not to mention that we also had to move on so fast to
Yeah.
what we got to do next, that it's like if we mentally hold on to this thing, then we're like
We can't
we
move.
won't
Yeah.
move forward.
Yeah.
So we have to start thinking about new things and how to make it better and the issues with this show so that we don't make those mistakes again. And so yeah, it becomes hard to go back to that place where where we were when we first finished, being like, yes, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Because when we first finished, we were really happy about it, really happy with it, and at the time,
Enthusiastic.
yeah.
And excited.
So any comments that might have come in then, we would have
We
known
would've been-
exactly what to
yeah.
say. We would
Yeah.
have
Been-
and known exactly what to feel. Now it's more complicated for us, but it doesn't mean we don't love it.
No, we
I love
appreciate-
every
we
single
love
comment we
getting-
get.
every
yeah,
comment.
Even the ones that are
comments.
critical,
Yeah.
like it's great to see anybody
Yeah.
engaging
Interact,
with us online.
It's nice to be noticed.
Yeah, and but yeah, it's really a weird workflow, and that's why we're kind of changing it up. I think, and for our next project.
We're still going to be ahead of what we do.
Yeah,
but
we're still gonna make them in
in a-
batches, but
in
But
a
the show will
smaller
all be
amount.
Yeah.
the same thing.
yeah,
So it's not going to
we're
feel
not gonna
like
switch shows anymore.
I'm so done with that show. It's more like, oh yeah, but wait till you see the next episode.
Yeah. And we can, any changes or criticisms that we do get in the comments, we can actually apply.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're still working on
Not
the
right
show.
away.
Not
but,
right away, but
actually apply.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time we were getting criticism, comments, and suggestions for Catra,
It was
done.
done.
far too late to
Yeah.
do anything
way
about
too
it.
late,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that was maybe, it's part of the reason, I guess, why we're moving on from this. And we want to give this one the proper send off. It was a big part of our group and brought us together in a lot of ways, but there were mistakes that we made. You know?
Dry
Yeah,
nuts.
it was a big learning experience, and you don't learn anything without making mistakes. So the reason we learned so much is because of all the mistakes we made.
Yeah.
But not to mention that it was also one of the biggest achievements we've ever, just creatively, been a
For
part
sure.
of.
Yeah.
This is a great Jeff episode.
I know. This is where people were starting to notice, like, really notice our voice acting.
Do you see
talent.
the twitch in his eye?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
I had to add that. It was very specific. But I was really proud. I animated this one, I think.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
people love the animation in this.
Yeah, really?
This is Lindsay's animation.
I thought they were more talking about the voice acting.
Oh,
good.
we got people, we got a lot of great comments on this one. It's also the one that got the least amount of views
Yeah,
or
really.
love.
Yeah.
It's strange how things work, I guess.
I mean,
Haven't
it's,
really figured out the platform for that stuff yet, really.
it's not one of my favorites, but it's, it's good.
I guess
I like it because because Jeff gets to be so different.
Yeah.
I guess what I sort of realized with episodes like this and Meal Plan and another one, Fire Safety, comes to mind, is that a lot of stuff happens outside of, you hear about it secondhand, and it's kind of like, we talk about it, but we're not able to show it.
Yeah.
And that's never the best approach, I guess.
Yeah. But you know what? The thing to take away from it, I think, is that like it's great the fact that people still like it.
Yeah.
You know, like the fact that like it's just like I compared it weirdly to My Dinner with Andre, right? Like it's like two people in a
Dinner with Catra.
for an entire piece of content, just two people talking.
Yeah.
And like with only a table separating them, and it's such a weird show, and the fact that people are like, yeah, love it. Where's the next one? It's like, great.
Really?
Okay, that's
Wow.
awesome. I feel like, and I like that
I
because
love that can be entertaining to people, you know, something so simple.
it's also a good confidence boost because if like, well, if people can like that, then if we make it a little bit more fast paced and have some more exciting things happening, maybe have some
Action.
change of scenes and
Yeah.
stuff like that, then they'll love that. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe they'll just be like, no.
Yeah, what?
All
Go back to that other thing.
Yeah, you hit your peak when two people were sitting there talking to each other. So
No,
only
Catra
do
don't
that.
care, right?
Yeah.
One thing about the voice acting is that I guess we talk about this a lot, but what a weird challenge it was, especially for you, Patrick, to play Catra, who's like not at all your personality or even gender or
Nothing.
possibly even species. You know?
Yeah, it was.
It's true, it's different.
Yeah, and it's funny because now going to now doing like the acting that I'm doing now, where it's more a character that is closer to me, is like. It's weird. It's like I feel like I did learn a lot acting as Catra, but at the same point, it's like I have to kind of relearn it.
Yeah, because
like,
you're
I
going for a
can't
more
be
natural performance now.
This
Yeah.
big character, and
Yeah.
like at first it was hard to go to 11 a lot of the times because that's kind of her
That's
thing.
her
Is
thing.
like
She screeches
She
a
does
lot.
not have a medium. It's
Yeah.
either like
Yeah.
all the way up or like way down.
Yeah.
And so it was hard to kind of like then reel it back in after like learning that like, oh yeah, push it to try and play a more
Yeah.
subtle character. It was like, oh okay, right. Don't always do that, like overact it. You know?
We learned the hard way that a lot of people just couldn't take Catra's voice.
It's part of the thing that we loved about her, though,
Yeah.
was that she was this just weird, and like her voice was such a weird acting choice that they made.
Totally. Like in the
Yeah.
original She-Ra, Princess of
It was
Power.
fascinating
It was
to
even
us, and-
shriekier in that.
Oh well,
But that's
you
why
know,
she was like less used probably in that show.
I think well, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
she was definitely more shrieky.
She was
Way more shrieky. She
just
blew out
way
her
more
mic.
dynamic. Like it
Yeah.
was like she had more like rises and
Yeah.
like really she would just scream for
And
a certain amount of
yowl.
time.
Yeah.
It might have come down to how they recorded it too. I
Yeah.
don't think that the levels were quite, worked out sometimes. It almost felt like she was just,
We did tone Catra down for
Yeah,
sure, I
we
think.
have
Yeah.
to.
She has more
She has to be
character, she has more
sustainability.
nuance and stuff
Yeah.
like that in this show. But yeah,
she's corporate Catra.
when we started making it, we were like, okay, we know that this is some people are gonna love it and some people are gonna hate it, and we
Yeah.
did immediately get people saying like, "Oh,
Can't
I
take
would
the
love it
voice.
if it wasn't for the voice," and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And then, but obviously, other people like it, so it's like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, we're never gonna win you over. It's just
That's
one of
so
those deal
true.
breakers.
Yeah.
It is a lot of her voice.
Yeah.
That's that thing, like, I mean, a lot of times other cartoons will have it so that the person with the annoying or the weird voice comes in
Yeah.
and goes away.
Goes away.
You know,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not omnipresent, and she is. It's about her.
She's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a weird experiment to try, and I think it worked. But it was, I think it was, it's going against the grain a little bit.
For sure.
God, I love this intro though,
I
man.
know.
It really came out. I was really happy with it. I think it really
It's really
hyped me
cool.
up for it. I mean, probably for the audience.
Gets tiring.
It gets tiring. It's really long.
Yeah.
And they're like,
And
where
it
the
introduces characters that
where's
don't show
Hillary
up.
Clinton? God damn it.
Yeah, and unless you know a lot about Princess of Power, those jokes are gonna just not land
Not
for
land.
you. It's just gonna be confusing. But it was really fun to do. And
Yeah.
back then, that was kind of what I certainly wanted to do was make things that were like cartoons used to be.
Yeah.
And since then I've changed. You know, I think we've all come to want something different.
Well, I think that's just kind of like the natural evolution of some people that want to create anything. It's like you want to first emulate, and then you want to like take that what you've learned from that and you know, find your own style.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at right now, is that we really had a good time emulating the Filmation style, and I think we got to a point with Catra that we really started to nail it.
Yeah.
And now we're like, okay, well, we know we can do that. And
We actually
but we
added-
want to have our voice now.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had some more fluid animation parts, but we definitely like Catra's a much more expressive character
in this.
that we gave her like eyebrows that she just doesn't have. In you know, able to like as little expression as we could give her while still keeping those crazy eyebrows.
Yeah.
She still
Just like her face proportions.
and
in
just the
general.
fact that she can tilt her head.
Yeah.
Not something that really came
Not-
up a lot in the
original
Filmation.
Filmation style.
However, she could turn into a cat.
Which you have in the
We
intro.
have in the intro, yeah.
And we probably could have done it some other time in the episode, but
Yeah.
where?
Well, we just kind of did it in an
never
office
really
luncheon.
is. Yeah.
When he was tripping balls.
Right, yeah, she is there. Is this the no, this isn't the office
This
luncheon.
is
No,
business,
this is the Goliath
business
one.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Oof,
This
man.
one is 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, strap in. We'll be here for a while.
I'm,
No,
I remember when Titus, you animated this when we went away, I think,
Right.
in like last August,
Right, yeah.
and we came back and it was just
A little
like,
bit of a break.
oh my god, it was like you had worked like fucking like
All
20
weekend, I
hours
guess, yeah.
straight
Oh.
animating this. It's just like, oh
no, I
my
must have
God.
slept. I don't think I could have done it for 20 hours straight. But,
But yeah.
it was days of just that. It's hard to like really remember much from that summer, other
It
than
was like such a fucking
staring
flash.
at
Yeah.
these two characters' mouths
Yeah.
and being like, are they lining up?
Yeah.
Like, do I care anymore? You know?
Honestly, it got to a point where it didn't matter. They had so many mouth shapes that you could just get away with a lot when it came to lip syncing.
It's debatable. Let us know in the comments what you
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah, I think that's what most people complimented us on, though, is the lip syncing.
I mean, no, we got
compliment-
a few
Well, a few,
compliments on the
yeah.
lip syncing, but like
Not the
most
most,
people
don't
but-
care.
Yeah,
Most people don't care. But I'm saying, like, we have gotten compliments on it.
The funny thing too about the lip syncing is I remember when I was like, okay, well, here's where I can, you know, contribute to the animation. I'll help with the lip syncing, and I was like, oh, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it really good. I'm gonna do a great job.
I don't even
remember
to you too being like,
Don't
just,
bother.
just
go.
Just
go.
do
go.
what works.
You know, and if you spend too much time,
All that
Yeah.
time
it's
now.
probably good enough. You know?
Yeah.
All that time now, it's like I don't even remember which ones I lip synced.
Yeah.
I
No.
probably couldn't tell.
I believe it was business office luncheon.
Office
Office luncheon.
I know
yeah.
that you did that one.
So
And
when
fire
when we
safety,
get to
I
that
think, too.
one, we'll just all see if we can tell. Is it better? No.
No.
Wow, great A on that lip syncing
Yeah,
job,
yeah.
man. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things that I think, you can get away with a little bit on it, and people don't notice it until it is bad,
Until it's really bad.
and then you'll be like, oh, what? Why
Why
does
is
it
nothing
not look
lining
like?
up?
It's one of those things that at first I did like really like it because I was like, this is where the magic happens. This is where you have that character not only just be there, your voice or whoever's voice starts to come out of their mouths, and
Right.
it looks like if you sell it, you're like, damn, this is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it gets a little old after, I don't know, like
Yeah.
2 episodes or 3 episodes or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
I love
Of
this
lip
part where
syncing.
she's like reading a canned response and her voice. It was a weird acting moment. I remember we were recording it and we were just like, did that sound good?
Well, it's because
we
she's
didn't
supposed to be
know.
awkwardly
Yeah,
reading.
she's
Yeah.
supposed to be awkward, but then we just thought it was like.
No, what happened was
in
I
the
was
read, it
doing.
was
What
awkward.
happened was I was doing that.
Yeah.
And then Titus started to vibe off of that energy.
Yeah, and it
you
was a
started
weird
to deliver
energy.
lines as if you were reading or something.
Yeah.
And you're
Oh,
like,
really?
I don't know. Like I can't. I'm
I
just
can't
starting to do what
tell.
you're doing. It's
Yeah.
messing me up. I remember it being like a whole thing, and
We were
I
like
don't
so
remember.
concerned about it, and then we put it together, and it was fucking hilarious. Like,
Wow.
just the awkward way in which she read things. It was like so funny.
Yeah, I definitely like that.
It's one of those things where you see an evil 80s character, villain character reading off a script, and it's funny.
Yeah,
It's a cheap trick almost.
for sure.
That's kind of what we're interested in, though. It's like we like the mundane kind of comedy.
Yeah, that's our thing.
For sure, yeah. The awkwardness too between people. Oh yeah, the
We've
horde
been a
helmet.
mask.
This is something that I think we've gotten that's something that I think we've gotten a little bit more confident in just talking about our future projects now. Is that like we'll record some stuff now and we'll be like, yeah, you stumbled on that line, but it works for that moment.
Yeah.
Because it's awkward.
Yeah.
And there was definitely a couple of times where the line read was like, it was just awkward, and we're like,
But it worked.
but that awkwardness just makes it funnier.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if we would have had the confidence back then to allow that something like that to
No,
get
we
through.
couldn't. We wanted it to sound like scripted, I think. That was like our thing.
There was also limited amounts of time that we could
Yeah.
spend recording, so
Yeah.
as always, we just had to go with takes sometimes because it's like we can't sit here and just go over these lines all day.
Yeah.
you know?
Well,
They were so long.
Well, just think about like our scripts now are 5 pages, and
Yeah.
back then they could be, 7 to 8 to 10.
pages. Yeah.
With really intensely long monologues too.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, Catra always had to have a monologue at some
Yeah.
point.
Or Jeff.
Jeff.
Or
yeah,
Jeff, too,
We
yeah.
had a
Jeff
monologue, monologues too.
Yeah.
This is another dark episode. We talked.
for sure.
There was what was the other dark one? It was,
Oh, when it was grievance
report. That's
where
a dark
like
one.
Carl pitches himself off.
Oh, this part where he just like bangs his hand on the phone. Yeah.
That was one of those things where in the audio, when I was making that, I was like, I just tried to make it sound as stupid as possible.
Yeah.
And then when you animated it, it just added on top
Yeah.
of it. It was
Yeah.
so hilarious
So
to
good.
see. I'm just gonna place my hand on the dial,
See what number
on the
dials.
buttons.
Yeah, for sure. It was interesting to write these episodes, and I think part of the reason why we have to kind of move on from this. There's a bunch of them, and maybe we'll get into all of them. But part of the reason is we kind of came to the end of what was possible in terms of what we could do with this premise. Maybe even stretched it a little further, wore out our welcome a little bit.
We
Yeah.
talked earlier about like, well, let's just put them on drugs again. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
like, yeah. I mean, again, I think we worked with it, and I'm proud of all the episodes that we've made.
For sure.
But yeah, at some point, I think when we got to the end, we were like, that's it. That's all that we can do for Catra, I think, and it was our love letter to the character.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've done good.
Yeah,
We've done
for
good
sure.
by her.
We did, yeah.
Not that she really deserved it. But
Forever.
Who knows if she deserved it?
Yeah.
We thought she
Yeah.
did.
And there it is, out on the internet, until we get a cease and desist letter from whoever owns the rights to her. But
Universal, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. No one's
Yeah.
gonna.
I don't
care.
think
No one
anyone
cares.
wanted those rights. To be honest, I tried to look up who
Yeah.
owns the rights to Princess of Power. Nothing came up.
It was
Well,
very
they are.
inconclusive.
I know Masters of Universe, but
Right.
Princess of Power is a different thing.
You would think they're a package deal.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I've heard that someone's in Toronto is being a showrunner for
Yeah.
a new show, Princess Shira.
She-Ra
Really?
show.
Shira thing.
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter at some
Someone
point.
must
Well,
own it.
stay away, man.
And they shared it with us, and I remember being like, I don't know how to feel about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy that Shira's coming back, but,
But I know,
at the
who
same time, I'm
says-
also scared.
But it's
Yeah.
also who says that Catra's even going to be a part of that?
Well,
Oh
she
man, if
will.
they take her out, then
I
She
don't
will,
know.
but
man.
she will be different.
She
You know,
will
there's no
definitely
way
be
that
She won't be the same.
Yeah.
they're going to make the same choices
No.
that they made back then.
No, definitely
There's,
not.
it's just not going to happen.
No. That kind of sucks, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad that we get to move on now, and I'm glad that we're moving on to something different. But it is kind of every once in a while you look back at it and you think we really did something here. you know?
Yeah, and considering what this was beyond what we were capable of when we started it.
Yeah.
It's
really.
very important to. Like, we didn't have the ability to make this when we started it, and we had to learn how to do it while we did it. And there were moments, many of them, where I would wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I don't know if this is possible, and this might all fall apart, and we may never make Catra. And here we are at the end of it. We did it.
Yeah,
we did that,
we
and I
did
feel
it.
like I'm so proud of us for doing that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it could have been so we could have just not
It
pulled
could
it
have
off.
broken us apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
I
Yeah.
never learned more faster at anything than animating Catra.
For sure.
I
Yeah.
don't think I would have had a better environment to learn animation.
I'm sure you could have had a better environment. It was
No,
kind of like
no,
a
no,
sink
no.
or swim
It
environment.
throw you- yeah,
it was
throw
But
you
just
in
that's
the pool.
exactly
Lindsay,
what
I don't
you
have time to
need.
do this. You
Yeah.
have to do this. You
That's
know?
exactly what you need, though, to learn something quickly and efficiently.
maybe,
I
yeah.
feel like.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There he
So
goes
you go
drinking the
to s-
acai
I
berry
feel
juice.
like- yeah. I
With
feel
his
like-
hand, he was just kind of over it.
I remember you writing that into the script, and I was like, "What's acai berry juice?"
Oh yeah.
Didn't know what it was. at the
If
time.
you've never had experience with network marketing schemes, then you're
Because
better
that's where
for it.
acai berry juice exists.
Yeah, well
I
now
guess
it's
that's
everywhere, but
the
for a
end
while
of part
there.
part 3.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Okay, great.
Just unceremoniously, it does end like that.
That's Catra.
Yeah.
That's our time with Catra, just unceremoniously ending. It's over, guys.
It's over.
Yeah.
See ya.
No, but really, thank you so much for coming along on
Yeah.
this journey, and we really appreciate everyone that's
Mm-hmm.
commented and followed us and watched this
Definitely.
show and reached out to us. And, I mean, that really means
Yeah.
Definitely kept
The
us
world to
going, I
us,
think.
yeah.
Yes, it really means a
yeah,
lot.
for sure.
Yeah, but don't worry because that's not the end of this commentary. Well, it's the end of this commentary, but there will be another part.
There
Of
will be
this
part
commentary.
4.
Of this
the
commentary.
final
comment, yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Of
We got
the
2 more
creator
episodes to
commentary.
talk about, and we'll be back.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. See you then.